Hello guys. So I just finished Black Myth Wukong yesterday, and to be honest, I believe it's like the best game of the year. I hope it wins game of the year. Today I decided to make like a tier list of the bosses that I fought. Only the kings, the Yaogwai kings, and yeah, this list is not like the hardest bosses or anything. It's just like the bosses that I enjoyed the most or the least in the game and why. So there's the list, and let's start with the White Clad Noble. This is the first boss in the game that has like two phases. Found the fight to be really cool and the design to be really cool. And to be honest, I enjoyed the challenge early on, so I think this deserves an E tier. Next we have the Yellow Wind Sage prequel design too. Like, how many times do you fight a giant rat with someone's head in it? That's just funny. For me, this was the hardest boss to beat in chapter 2 because I did not know about the Wind Tamer. So I think, if I remember right, I died at least 40 times against this guy. That being said, the fight is really rewarding when you beat him, especially that he's like the final boss, and the fight is really cool. I think, yeah, I think I'll put him E tier too. Let's do the black bear. Next we have the black bear, which is the black bear guy. This is the final boss of chapter 1. The fight settings were really cool. I mean, you fight a bear that does kung fu. What else do you want? What's more do you want? He's very tough to beat early on. Again, I think this also goes into A tier, probably right before the Wind Sage. Next we have let's do the Yellow Lunk. Okay, I'm gonna spoil the rating here. This is for me the best boss in the game. Probably like top 3 hardest bosses to beat. Of course, I mean, if you fight him in chapter 4 and not, level up in chapter 6 and then go back to fight him. I think I died the most fighting this guy. He has multiple attacks with different timers. You have to memorize everything. But when you beat him, that's when you know that you can beat the game. I think, yeah, that's why. That's why this is the best boss for me. So it's here without any question. Let's do next. We have the Stone Vanguard. Pretty boring boss. Like, it's an immobile stone. All you have to do is like dodge the AoE damage. Yeah, I did not enjoy this that much. Maybe D tier. Next we have the Seinlung, one of the 3 dragons that you have to beat before fighting the yellow one. Yeah, pretty easy to beat. Nothing much to say. C tier. Next we have the Fuban, which is a secret boss in chapter 2. I liked the storyline in this. The fact that you get to help the Rat King or Prince, or I don't remember, to fight this thing. But I did not like the fight that much. It felt kind of scripted. I was not that interested, so I think this also goes in the C tier. Maybe before, yeah, this is worse than Sailong, so it goes in here. Next, we have the giant Shigandang. I think that's how it's pronounced. This is in chapter 6, the final stone boss. And to be honest, the worst of them all. It's a very long fight. All you have to do is like wait for him, and then auto his like the blue thing is on his hand. I did not enjoy this. It's even worse than the first one. So, and then we have the Supreme Inspector. This is in chapter 6 too. Very hard boss to beat. I fucking hate his unicycle attack, and you know what? All of his mainly the other attacks that come from nowhere. You know what I mean? His second phase is epic though, with the music and everything. But if you have the fan, I think he's manageable. So yeah, I think this deserves an E tier. Probably just I'll put him behind the Wind Sage. Next we have Erlang Shen. After you beat Erlang, you have and the heavenly bosses. You fight this guy. What to say? Like it, it's two monsters fighting in, and you fight him in Stone Monkey form. You know, just two giant monsters fighting. It's epic, music playing. Yeah, I think this is Beecher. Yeah, this Beecher is good here. Next, we have the Black Lung, which is pretty boring boss, to be honest. You have to jump on a rock and wait for his AoE damage to end. Nothing interesting. I'll put him in high D, maybe before or after the Stone Vanguard. Next, we have the Captain Wise Voice. First of all, what is this name? This was hard, but not in a good way. It was a bad, hard boss. Like you have to only attack his leg in order to beat him. Pretty long fight, longer than it needs to be honest. So I think this goes in C tier too. I think, yeah, I think here. Okay, next. Now that's a boss. Yaksha King, final boss of chapter 5. After you beat the red boy. What a boss. Where can I start? This is the coolest looking boss in the game. Without any question. When you fight him, there's a rock music playing, and the voice lines are just so epic, and everything is perfect in this fight. Really, this is easily S tier. Dare I say, the second best boss fight in the game for me, at least. Yeah. Next, we have the Black Wind King in chapter 1. Kind of frustrating in the beginning because his immobilized spell does not work on him. The fight was really cool though. I think I died once or twice, so I think I'll put him in high B tier. Next we have the fake Erlang, which is the the keeper of Flaming Mountains. It's a boss with two phases. The first phase was okay, I guess, and then there's a fish that spawns, and it's a huge fish with a small hitbox. It's very annoying. Yeah, I did not enjoy this fight. Low C tier. Next, we have the Shigandang, I believe its name. That's how it's pronounced. Maybe you can correct me in the comments if you, yeah. If you think that's not how it's pronounced. Shigandang, another stone boss fight. I don't think it's worse than the giant ones. So maybe here, maybe just here, like D tier, but like better than the other two. Next we have the violet spider. Not much to say here, just a spider that spits poison, and although the storyline is very good, not gonna lie. I think low C. Okay, Erlang. Now let's do Erlang. One of the hardest bosses in the game, if not the hardest. But for me, Yellow Lung is still harder. It's a secret boss, so you have to beat another 10 bosses to get to him. I think it's 10 or 9, I don't remember. His combos are very long, and the fight has multiple phases and multiple weapons. His attacks are very unpredictable. Yeah, it's a very challenging boss, to be honest, and rewarding. Of course, I'll put him in S tier too, but I think I still prefer Yaksha King and Yellow Lung over this one. Next, we have the dragon. Okay, this is kind of controversial because I want to put this fight in S tier, but although the fight setting itself is beautiful, the dragon is majestic, the snow and the lightning combo are just beautiful, but I don't think the fight itself deserves an S tier rating, because you have to wait for him to descend from the sky in order to immobilize him and start attacking, which is kind of annoying, to be honest. So it felt kind of scripted. That's why I'm gonna put him in A tier, just before the Black Bear Guy. I think this is a good place. Tell me what you think in the comments. I think a lot of people think this is one of the best fights. I do think it's a great fight, but it's not S tier material. Next we have the Elder Jinchi, I believe, secret boss. His ghosts are kind of annoying, but you get a very cool item when you beat him. I think I'll put this in C tier, maybe here in the middle. Next we have Bishui. Kind of hard to beat, at least for me. I find the design to be really cool. But the fight itself did not leave that much an impression on me. So maybe low B tier is good, I think. Next we have the 4 Heavenly Kings. Pretty massive fight in my opinion, but you gotta give it to them. Like in terms of effects and cutscenes, it was beautiful. I think this goes in low E tier. Next, Yellow Brow, and I hope this is not controversial too, but this for me is the worst boss in the game without any question. The only way to beat him is to literally wait for him to start yapping and then charge your heavy attack. The fight is so freaking long and has multiple cutscenes. There's no way any one of you enjoyed this fight. I think, yeah, annoying as fuck. This is the worst boss in the game. I'll die on this hill. Next, Red Boy. Red Boy, pretty cool fight, pretty cool dialogue. Pretty evil boss, really. It's the transform. Afterwards, he transforms to become Yaksha King. I think this goes on E tier, maybe just right here, just after the Wind Sage. Next, we have the female form of the dragon. Pretty cool setting again. I love the snow and lightning combo. It's not hard to beat. I think I died 3 times. Also, she's beautiful, not gonna lie. That's just a detail, but easily this goes low E tier, I think. Next we have the Handed Eye Daoist Master, which is the final boss of chapter 4. He has 2 phases. I can't say this fight is S tier material or even E tier for that matter. The hitbox is very large and very bad. You can miss a lot of charged heavy attacks. And you need a special item to beat him. I think this goes in like low B tier, maybe here. Next we have Zupachi. I think that's how it's pronounced. Again, correct me if I'm sorry, my Chinese friends. Okay, so we're fighting our friend here. It has 2 phases too. The first one is okay, and then he transforms into a giant ball, and you can barely move in the mud. It's not that enjoyable, to be honest. It's not that bad, but I think I'll put it just before or maybe after the giant spider, the violet spider. After we have the last boss of the game, the Great Sage's Broken Shell. Okay, this is the final boss. This is special. I think this has to be the most disrespectful boss in the game. Like, he will immobilize you, he will drink from your gourd and then toss it back at you. He has the same attacks as you. He will steal your like Sun Wukong form at some point. He's very tough but beatable. Also the setting is really beautiful with the sunset and everything. I'll put this on S tier without any doubt. Probably in here before the Yaksha King. I still think the Yaksha King fight is much cooler. Next we have the Yin Tiger. Okay, this is a good boss. Another cool tiger in the game. There are many cool tigers in this game. Very tough to beat, but he gives you a lot of things, like to improve your armor and stuff when you beat him. He has a lot of impressive attacks, like with like very fast attacks that you cannot dodge, to be honest. I really enjoyed this fight, and you can fight him multiple times, to get items. I think it's S tier, maybe here. Next we have the wolf. I don't know how it's pronounced, to be honest. The wolf in chapter 1. I really like the design of this boss. You can tell that a lot of work went into the details, especially like the hairs and everything. The fight was pretty simple but enjoyable. I think it's a B tier without much questions. I'll put in here. Dusk Veil. Okay, again, for me at least, this is one of the worst bosses in the game. Although his second phase is cool, with the red moon and everything. But I cannot stress this enough. This guy has the worst hitbox in the game. Like, there's no way to hit him with a heavy attack. Like, it's so frustrating. So it's an F tier boss. I think just right here is a good place for him. Next we have the secret boss, the Riddlung, the first boss in chapter 1. Not much to say. It's pretty simple fight. I think C tier is appropriate here, maybe before Bachi. And then we have the Tiger Vanguard. This felt like a final boss for me, at least in chapter 2. Coolest tiger boss in the game. One of the hardest boss in chapter 2. He's very light on his feet and has many combos. I really enjoyed this fight. S tier without any doubt. I think I'll put him after Erlang. I don't care. It was so fun. Next we have the Stone Monkey. In chapter 6, this guy right here is pretty tough to beat. Also find yourself like fighting 2 monkeys at some point. He has both ice and shock attacks, and he counters a lot of your spells, mainly immobilize. The fight is really memorable. Yeah, I think it's high A tier, like right here. And the last king we have is the Scorpion Lord. Pretty damn hard boss to beat. Very aggressive, and there's a stupid amount of damage. But I really enjoyed him. Like when you beat him, it's also helps you like fight the Dusk Veil. I think I'll put him in E tier just before the dragon. Yeah, this is a good place for him. That's about it. That's all the kings, I think. Tell me if I forgot anyone. Also, if you have anything to say about this rating, you like it, you don't like it, feel free in the comments. I read everything. Oh, thank you.